Officials in Haiti say more than 1,940 people are known to have died in the country in Saturday's powerful earthquake, a rise of more than 500 on the previous figure. Nearly 10,000 people have been injured and many are still missing after the 7.2 magnitude tremor. Rescue work has been hampered by heavy rains brought this week by Tropical Storm Grace to the Caribbean nation. Officials also are warning that damaged buildings could collapse. The United Nations says about 500,000 children now have limited or no access to shelter, safe water, and food. For more, we can now cross live and join our ICE correspondent LAPE OLARINOYE. Hello, LAPE. Good to see you.
Well, hi, Adesua and everyone.
Hi. Looks like Haiti is not getting a break anytime soon. The death toll continues to rise. What do we know so far?
Well, good afternoon to you all. So, of course, we know that currently the death toll is continuing to rise, and currently at the moment it's just under 2,000. So the current weather situation there could see that increase even more, particularly because of families that have been left stranded with nowhere to live. And then, of course, combined by the tropical storm that took place over a few days ago, which has led to increased flooding, the potential of mudslides, as well as the potential that, people have to deal with wrecked homes and actually have to live on the street and have to walk through water. And of course, you can imagine the sanitation issue there and hygiene issue there. In fact, some of the reports that were coming to us actually included that people had to relieve themselves publicly outdoors. That's how dire the situation is out there. And even if, we look away from the number of wreckages and the number of people that have sadly passed away as a result of this, if we look at the current living conditions of the people that are currently facing this tragedy, it's really, really heartbreaking and harrowing to look at. Their children, women, people that are pregnant, the elderly, the disabled, all displaced with nowhere to live. So it really is a dire situation. And unfortunately, Haiti has been a victim of natural disasters one too many times.
LAPE, thank you for that. Talk to us more about the rescue operations that are going on, how the country is going about it, how the individual citizens are going about helping themselves rescue despite the rains that are impacting the region right now.
Sure, as you can imagine, everybody out there is currently on survival mode. Like I just said before, that many people are left displaced. In fact, the estimate is that 500,000 children have nowhere to live, are currently on the streets. 30,000 families are currently homeless. So it's a very, very terrible situation. And our rescue operations are underway, but of course they are being hampered by the sheer amount of water being caused by the flood. There's risks of mudslides, which is slowing down those rescue operations. People are still being pulled out from the rubble. Some have been pulled out alive, but there's an estimated number of 19 people being pulled out alive, and there's about 9 people so far in the last 24 hours that have been pulled out and have sadly passed away. Away from that, the government of Haiti, which is currently under political instability because of the murder of the former president, are also lending their support, reassuring their citizens that they will be sending out government aid that will be getting around. But like I said before, this is not the first time this has happened to Haiti, and it's definitely not the worst earthquake that they've had to face. But this time they're facing 2 natural disasters taking place at once. So the rescue operations are, of course, a lot more harder this time. And, they're being slowed down by the increase of those natural disasters, which is, very sad to watch.
Okay, LAPE, could you tell us more about some of the factors contributing to the incessant natural disasters in Haiti? How I was just saying before you came on about how Haiti lies on 2 fault lines.
Yes, Haiti is prone to this natural disasters. I mean, we know that they've had an earthquake of about the similar magnitude, about 7.0, back in 2006. They also had another in 2010, and they also had another in 2016. The 2010 earthquake being the worst, with over 200,000 people dying as a result. So they are unfortunately located in an area that is very, very prone. In fact, the Miami Meteorological Center also warned of these floods and these storms. So it's something that is a part of that region. But away from that, if we look at the whole world at the moment, different parts of the world are facing severe natural disasters. Only yesterday was there a wildfire in the south of France. Last week we saw fires in Greece, as well as, you know, even more recently, floods in India and floods in Turkey and so on. So it's really going back to the root of the problem, which is climate change. And it's a huge reality check for many governments all over the world, and very timely ahead of that climate change conference that will be taking place next week in Glasgow. So it's time that the whole world really comes together and starts dealing with this issue head on.
Indeed, very well said, LAPE. The country, I mean, this earthquake just compounds the problems it's facing, already impoverished, and of course, losing its president recently to assassination. Thank you so much, LAPE OLARINOYE, for the update on Haiti.